In an interesting bit of news, it was announced yesterday that ultra successful comic book writer Brian Michael Bendis has been hired to write the script for Fox's upcoming Kitty Pryde action movie. Kitty Pryde, is famous for being Shadowcat in the X-Men comics, and now the X-Men movies that Fox owns, they've hired him to write the script for it, and the movie's going to a movie based on her, and the movie's going to be directed by Tim Miller, who was the director of the first Deadpool and was responsible for a lot of those really visually interesting action scenes. And this is all cool and stuff, but it's weird because Brian Michael Bendis recently famously he was a Marvel writer, one of Marvel's golden writers for several years, and then he was hired over to DC as a DC exclusive writer. I think that was announced earlier this year or last year to exclusively write for their comics. But I guess that deal doesn't extend to, movies and stuff because he's writing a movie for, a Marvel character, and Marvel's DC's huge competition. I guess maybe the loophole is that, even though Kitty Pryde's a Marvel character, she's currently owned by Fox because Fox controls the X-Men franchise right now, at least until, the whole Disney buyout deal happens, if that goes through. But even so, it's weird, and I wonder how DC feels about this. But I guess, if he can legally do it, he's going to do it. I mean, I'm sure he's going to get paid a lot of money to write a script for a movie. Now, Bendis' background in terms of movies, he was a part of the Marvel Creative Committee as, a group of people working on their movies from like 2008 to 2015, according to the Newsarama article. But I don't know what happened. He's in a part. I think that Creative Committee was dissolved because they got into like some kind of disagreement with Kevin Feige, the guy who is, Mr. Ultra, the Marvel god who's steering, the whole cinematic universe. And so I'm wondering if that caused some bad blood and was one of the reasons he kind of left. But I don't know. I'm kind of going down a path I don't know about because I haven't researched that much. But in the Newsarama article I read, the working title for this Kitty Pryde movie is 143. And the article says they think it's referencing Uncanny X-Men 143, which is a famous Kitty Pryde story where, when she first joined the X-Men, she was at home alone in the mansion in the 80s, and, this weird demon attacked, and she was the only X-Men there to fight it off. And the demon, in the way it was drawn and designed, it almost looked like something from Aliens. And I'm wondering if that inspired that story, because, Sigourney Weaver style, Kitty Pryde was able to fend this big, bad alien off by herself, being kind of one of the newer X-Men and not having had as much training as the senior ones. And there were all these scenes where she was evading and running from it, and she eventually defeated the demon, I think, by turning on the Blackbird's like fire jet to incinerate it or something. I vaguely remember. I read that story, but I have to read it again. But if they're using that storyline as kind of to adapt material, I wonder if this movie is gonna like be a flashback to Kitty Pryde's early days when she was younger as an X-Men, an X-Woman, I guess, or if they're gonna have it take place in the present day when she's an adult superhero, to be more like the adult Kitty Pryde we have right now in the X-Men comic book. She's actually leading an X-Men team right now, an X-Men Gold, as an adult. So it'll be interesting to see, what direction they go in. Ellen Page most recently played Kitty Pryde in the X-Men Days of Future Past movie. And Ellen Page is an adult woman now, and Kitty Pryde's an adult woman in the X-Men comics. So I wonder if they have it take place in the present day, if they'll just hire Ellen Page back to play her and have Ellen Page doing all of these, fight scenes with, her phasing powers. Oh, and for those of you who don't know, Kitty Pryde's superpower, mutant power, is that she can walk through walls. She's basically a living ghost. That's her power. She can, at will, walk through physical objects, and she can take people with her, too, through physical objects if she wants to. She can put her hands through people, which I think could instantly kill them if she was a bad guy. But she's a good guy, so she doesn't really do that. But that's her power set. And she's also a very good physical hand-to-hand combatant, which I'm sure Tim Miller and Brian Michael Bendis are going to capitalize in this movie. She was trained, I think, in the comics by Wolverine, among others. And so she's a very good hand-to-hand combatant. So that'll probably come in handy with those action scenes in this movie. But I still don't know if this movie is going to happen because, as you know, Disney's about to buy Fox. And if they reboot the entire X-Men universe before this movie gets made, won't that kind of destroy this movie? Unless, Fox is able to get this movie made really quickly before that deal goes through and just release it. But I don't know, if Kevin Feige, if his parent company buys Fox and buys the X-Men rights back, and he decides to just wipe everything away and do a clean slate, I don't think Disney's going to allow this movie to be made. But, we'll see. But anyways, that's my movie update for the day. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to watch me make more videos about movies and TV shows. I appreciate your viewership. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.